friends to stand around.
Another tip that I have is when you are having those bad days and you are having those negative days, if your husband is deployed, sorry, this headband's really hurting my head. If your husband or significant other is deployed, and you're having a bad day, let it out in email. Now, I don't don't ever talk about it, because I know what you're thinking. You don't want to talk to them about it because they are having 10 times harder of a time being away from family than you are, because you can go home anytime that you want, or family can come and see you anytime that they want. But that doesn't mean that you're not going to have a difficult time through this process. And I think that a lot of people need to realize that and not bottle up emotions, because that can really, really be a disaster, for lack of better words. Because, and when I say, why I want you to do it in email, why I suggest to do it in email, is because you can get out every frustration while you're typing. Punch those keys as hard as you can. And type to him and say, I'm having the worst day, the kids are driving me nuts, the dogs are driving me crazy, the car broke down, whatever. You have to deal with everything that happens in this household, or your life on a day-to-day basis. You deal with 100% of it, and you don't have any help. So you let that aggression out, and you let that anger out, and you let that frustration out, but do it in email. Because they'll read that and they'll get it and they'll understand it, and they'll be there for you, because that's your significant other and they're supposed to be there for you 100%. But when they call, don't even talk about it. Like, talk about it through email, but don't talk about it on the phone, because that's 5 or 10 minutes that you get, and you don't want it to be a negative conversation for 5 of the 10 minutes. Like I will write to Adam, and he'll be able to contest to it. Like when we're talking on Skype, or we're talking on Facebook or whatever, I write to him and I let my bad day out. But when he calls me on the phone, he talks to Maya. We talk about his day. We talk about what our plans are for when he comes home for R&R, or things like that. So we don't really get into the mess of things on the phone, because we keep that as positive as we possibly can, because that's a fun time. It's a good time for you guys to have. Now that works for us. I suggest it. Don't need to follow it by any means. These are all just suggestions, but I think that it's really a good thing to do. Tip number 3. Find somebody that you can just be arm in arm with, that you can latch on to, that you can that will give you positive feedback, that will lift your spirits when you're down, that will say it's okay for you to be sad, and I know exactly what you're going through. It's another thing I didn't have when I was back home, is I had my friends who are phenomenal, but I did not have somebody to sit down and tell me, I know exactly what you're going through, cry on my shoulder. And that was hard. So now, while I'm here and I've made my home, I have Amber. Now granted, I met Amber when we lived in Alabama, but she moved here. Her and her husband moved here 2 months after we got here. So last summer sometime, early fall. Her husband is stationed where Adam is, Cole, Kiowa pilot. I gotta give a shout out to the Kiowas. I'm pretty sure I'd get yelled at if I didn't. So, she is going through her first deployment with Cole right now. And so we have each other to lean on. Like, I feel like I have a little bit more of experience because I've gone through Adam doing a year in Korea. But I don't by any means think that it's easier, because I feel like I've had just as many bad days as she's had. And we balance each other out. I'll have a good week and she'll have a bad one. And I'll say, okay, you know what? I'm strong. I'm here for you. And vice versa. So I really think that it's important, if you don't have somebody like that, I really think that it's important for you to branch out and find somebody like that, because it really makes this experience a lot more enjoyable when they're gone, when the guys are gone or the girls are gone. And it makes you stronger. It really does. It makes you realize that you can do things without them here. And you can get through this. I think that that's pretty much the 3 main tips that I had. If you have any questions, please, please, please message me. And I just want to say that I love our Army family. I love our soldiers. Soldiers are great, and I hold them number one on my pedestal. But just remember that you are the backbone. They couldn't be where they are today without you. So just keep that in mind, and keep in mind that you are a strong person, and that you keep your family going, you keep your soldier going, and you keep yourself going. So just stay strong. I know it's not easy, but you can do it. And you're gonna realize that the months, the days and weeks may not go by fast, but the months do. And a year is a long time, but you get through it. And that's the end of it. So, if you have any questions, I love talking to new people, and I really like, just getting new ideas and new ways of what people do. So, find me on Facebook, Stephanie Paquette Erickson. And I think that's about it. So, stay strong, find something that you're passionate about to keep you busy, and